So this was a tough one. This is pretty bad. This was a brutal shellacking of my character, no question about it. What's up, guys? That was an ominous intro, I know, but welcome back to a brand new video. And today I have a story time video, and it will really pain me to tell you, but I've kind of just accepted that I'm basically a masochist on this channel, and that's kind of what you're expecting at this point. And also, if you just feel bad about yourself, prepare to feel a lot better about yourself. Trust me. So this is the story of when I got rejected by the same girl twice in 1 week. I didn't even think that was possible for me to go lower than like once in a week, but I somehow figured out to make it happen twice in a singular week, and I know, pretty impressive, right? Or just depressing. I don't know. Depends on how you look at this. I would say pretty depressing. I don't think impressive is the right word. But anyways, real quick before I jump into it, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel with notifications on. I upload commentary videos and story time videos to keep you guys entertained. And also, while you're down there, leave a like on the video to just justify my suffering, and also leave a like and comment a couple times to get me back in the algorithm. I would appreciate it. Took a little bit of a break, and all the comments and likes are really helpful. And with that being said, let's get into it, guys. Oh, jeez. So this all happened the fall of my junior year, and this was a couple weeks in, and I was getting acclimated, getting used to my classes, hanging out with people, having a pretty good time. And I was just like, you know what? I want to make my life a little more complicated, mix things up, make things a little more fun. And I was, I was looking around. I was trying to see if there's anyone I wanted to scheme, as we called it, back in my school. I don't know if that's like an actual thing people say, but you'd scheme someone, which is, you'd be interested and you'd do your best. And in my case, your best was normally not enough, unfortunately. But, anyways, I was looking around, and there was this new girl, and I was like, you know what, might as well give it a shot. Like, might as well try, might as well give it a shot. Worst comes to worst. Like, how bad can it be? It's not like she's going to say no to you twice in 1 week. Like, it's not going to get that bad, guys. Like, 100% no. So I don't play a sport in the fall, but my school has to make you do a sport-like activity every single term. And since I don't really play soccer and I don't play anything like that, I had to find an alternative. So what I ended up doing was I was the manager for the girls' varsity soccer team. That basically meant you brought down their balls and you brought it back up. And other than that, you kind of had free time. You could go to the gym, you could do homework. Being a manager is a relatively good deal. Like, if you don't have a sport, it's definitely not a bad thing to do. It's not the most fun, but it really just gives you free time, and it was a pretty good option for me then. So there was this girl that I met on the soccer team who was friends with this new girl that I've never spoken to before, but I was like, I want to try something. So I ended up talking to her. I said, hey, can you talk to this girl for me? Just test the waters, right? Because, I'm a little bit of a female dog. I'm trying to keep ads on this, but I'm a bit of a female dog. Actually, I think a bit is a little bit of a little underwhelming of a statement. I think I'm a massive female dog when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I really just wanted to test the waters just to see how things were. And so the next day I was sitting in this kind of like cubicle type thing. It wasn't a cubicle, but it was kind of like a little study space. And this was during one of my free periods because I didn't have a class then. And I was kind of chilling on my phone, and I got a Snapchat notification from the girl on the soccer team who I asked to talk to the girl I was potentially interested in. And it was a Snapchat video, and I didn't really talk to this girl that much except to ask. And I was a little confused, and I opened it up, and it was like, wait a minute. So it was a video of the girl on the soccer team as well as the girl I was trying to test the waters with. And she was like trying to record the girl I was trying to test the waters with, and she was like ducking the camera and like smiling and everything. So it was like pretty obvious that she said something about it because it was being sent to me, and I didn't really talk to either of them, especially the second girl, at all. So I was feeling pretty good about myself. I'll keep it a buck. I was feeling pretty good because it wasn't like she was like awkwardly trying to run away. It's like she was smiling and like playfully ducking out of the way, and I was like, you know what? This could actually work, Connor. Like your terrible streak of 2 years of just things just not going that hot for you. It ends today. It literally ends today. Things are only looking up. And as you can probably tell from the intro of the video, things did not go that well, but we're getting to that. Just give me a second. So I ended up adding the girl I was interested in on Snapchat, and I sent her a few snaps, or not like a few before she responded. I'm not triple snapping her. Don't worry. Just chill out, guys. I'm pretty cringe, but even I have my restrictions to my own actions. But anyways, I kind of snapped back and forth with her a little bit, and the things were the snapbacks weren't bad. She was actually it looked like she was trying the snaps. If you snap someone to see and trying to get a little thing going with them, if they respond with a black screen or they're not in the photo or it's super blurry, there's a pretty good shot that they have like zero interest and they're trying to be nice about it. But if they actually like try in their responses, it doesn't necessarily mean that like you should go for it, but it also isn't like an obvious sign to say no, right? So like things are going pretty good and I'm feeling good about this. I'm like, okay, let me actually start talking to her and then maybe we can meet up to like we can like it can eventually get to the point I can ask to like, meet up and like, actually talk to her like IRL. I had no classes with her. I had like no real easy way to talk to her. So I had to like I felt like I had to like conversate on Snapchat before anything else. I just like really never saw her around. So I was like, okay, I'll go like a pretty terrible way to start a conversation, but it's like it's pretty standard. I was just like, hey, you know what? I just decided to ask her, I'm like, hey, how's the day going? Like, how are things? And she responded with good. I was like, God, Jesus. God, damn. So I ended up responding, being like, that's good to hear. And then conversation absolutely died. It was really tragic at that point. It was just a mess. And because if anyone just like responds to an inquiry like that with just like a one word response, no even if they don't ask you how you're doing, just a polite thing to do. I'm just kidding. Even if they don't ask how you're doing, if they at least elaborate on it, like at least give more than a one word response, you're out of the woods a little bit. But I 100% knew things were just not going well, and I was a little taken aback because I was like, I felt like the last week had been going pretty well, right? I thought I was doing it right. I thought I was playing it by the textbook. I thought I was doing a good job. So the next day rolls around. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of dead in the water. Like this is unfortunate. Like this is a tough go. She basically gave me a no here. So this is the first no I'm counting because if someone responds to you with how's your day, good, that's a no. That's just too bad, so sad, tough to see it, hate to see it, tough day. Like right, that's a no. So I'm going on with my day, and then I get a text from my friend. So the text from my friend reads, "Oh, I thought you were interested in this girl." And I was like, yeah, I was trying to talk to her, but just went really cold last night, and I'm not 100% sure why." And he's like, "Well, I probably know why." And I was like, "Oh my God, what did I do? Was it really that bad? Was I really that awkward trying to talk to her?" But no, it was something else. Apparently another guy on like the varsity soccer team had also been talking to her like at the exact same time I was talking to her, but he got in like a week sooner. So he had like a lot of leverage on me at this point, and they eventually decided to meet up. Like they made the plans to meet up on the night that I was like trying to talk to her. And to me, that justified, like, I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little better about myself. Like the reason in my head that she was like kind of cold with the response was because she was already had plans with some other guy. And it's like, this wasn't going to work. I was like, okay, it's fair enough. Like it is what it is. Unlucky. GG. But better luck next time, I guess. So I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed, but what are you going to do, right? Someone else got there first and they did a better job. And it's just, these things happen. Like life goes on. And I was just kind of like having a good time with my friends, making my way through classes. Things were good. And throughout the course of the week, I think this was like Thursday or something, I caught wind that the kind of thing that those two were having just kind of fell apart. And I was like, all right, well, theoretically, right, the reason I didn't get a good response was because she was already talking with someone else. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this situation and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring a second time because now there shouldn't be any obstacles. So I call up the friend on the soccer team. I said, hey, so I heard so-and-so and this girl are no longer really doing anything together. I'm like, can you ask her again tonight? And probably a bad call, but I was like, screw it. To me, the logic made sense. Obviously, I wasn't really thinking, and it didn't even cross my mind that maybe there's another reason that she killed the conversation. Maybe there was another reason. So anyways, I'm feeling pretty good about myself, and I'm telling my friend, because we're both in the study room together, just, getting some homework done. It's a Friday night. It's not a Thursday night. It's actually a Friday night. I'm actually in a really good mood. I finished my work. I put in some music. Like, I was feeling good about myself because I was like, this should go well. Like it makes sense on paper for this to go well. Whenever someone says this makes sense on paper in like a social situation, you know that they're something's wrong. Something's not going to go right. They're definitely off if they're saying, well, technically this makes sense. No. There's something off there. But anyways, I'm feeling good. I'm like, this should make sense. And I go into the evening and it is about 10 at night, and I eventually, I text this to the soccer girl because I was like, okay, well, it's almost curfew. I bet that they already spoke already. And I was like, hey, did you have a chance to talk to this girl? And she said yes. She didn't respond with what she said. She just said yes. So at first I was like, oh, this is good news because maybe she wants to hype it up. Like she wants to like keep it a secret by saying, oh yeah, I did get a response, and like bait me in a little bit to tell me the good news. She was not baiting me in to tell me the good news, it turns out. So I responded, and I was like, haha, so what did she say? And the soccer girl responded. She said no. And I was like, what? So this ended up being like one of the biggest ego blows I've had in a very long time. Just not because of the situation itself, but because of how confident I was going in the second time and how I realized that the reason she said no the first time wasn't because of this other guy entirely, because, you know, I go in a second time and she says no again with no other guy in the scene. And that was a tough day. That was a tough night, let me just say. Once I got that news, I was going to hang out with some friends, but I was like, nah. No, I'm not hanging out with friends. And I just kind of sat down, put in some music, listening to some jungle. It's just a tough time. I was like horrendously in my bag at that point. It was a tough go. So I was just sitting there listening to Marvin's Room and Jungle by A Boogie, just thinking to myself, wow, good job, man. Congrats. Big win right here. Really doing yourself well. Congrats. And yeah, so it was tough afterwards because for some reason, like, I never saw this girl crossing paths ever before this point. It was like every single day afterwards, I somehow crossed paths with her in the path, and it was so awkward, and it was terrible, and I didn't try anything, like, with anyone for, like, another year after this point. I was just so butthurt, which is pretty depressing, but whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you made it this far into the video, comment door down below. I haven't changed it up in a sec, but I will, don't worry. If you could, make sure you are liked, subscribed, with notifications on, I would appreciate that. And also, if you want to become a channel member, totally up to you. And if you like these stories, make sure to let me know. And I have a stories playlist and a commentary playlist. So if you're into either of those things, go check on my channel and then sort by playlists. Might be in the description too. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, see you in the next one. Peace.